Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for our MLB DFS hitter picks for Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017. I'm your host, Nick from CWE, on all of your favorite daily fantasy sites, and I'm here to break down my 3 favorite tournament targets tonight. A good slate of games, just like yesterday. I mean, there's 4 more teams playing. We got a full slate. Everybody's playing tonight. A lot of good pitching options, a lot of good hitting options. No game in Coors, no game in Chase, no game in Miller Park, no game in Texas. So it's definitely going to be an interesting night. We do have a game in the Great American Small Park between 2 offenses I don't exactly love. So things will be interesting to say the least tonight. Now, where do we want to go for our hitters tonight? Let's figure this out. I know I have 2, and I think I'll go with the third here. And again, these aren't in any particular pricing order, but let's start with Corey Dickerson. Dickerson's actually like one of my favorite plays on the night, going up against Edinson Volquez. 387 WOBA, 36.7% fly ball rate, 47.1% hard hit rate against lefties. In case you haven't figured it out, those are not good numbers at all. No pitcher wants to say things like that. This lineup can be dangerous. Dickerson's actually off to a pretty strong start to the year, so I like the upside tonight for this team to be able to do some damage. And Dickerson, high floor, playing like he's back in Colorado at this point in his career, and that's what I think the Rays have wanted to see. I think he should be able to keep the momentum going forward. And at 3,100, he's really not he's probably underpriced for someone who's hitting 326 and has 6 home runs. The downside to that is because a lot of times he's hitting at the top of the order, not a lot of guys on base in front of him, which is a problem because, that 6 home runs is matched by 10 RBIs, which means he's probably got 6 solo shots. So hopefully, he can get the end of the lineup to kind of hit a little better so that they can get on base. But either way, I like him tonight at his price. Next up, let's pick on Wiley Peralta with Matt Carpenter. I mistakenly put Carpenter in as a third baseman in our breakdown, and I apologize for that. I hadn't realized that he had moved specifically only to just first base. I know we use FanDuel as our basis, but a lot of times if there's guys I really like, I'll kind of cheat with that multi-positional eligibility on FanDuel, and I'll put a first base, third base guy at third base, even though I know he's at first base only on FanDuel. He's no longer the case. He has not looked very good, but he's starting to come around. Over 20 fantasy points, 3 of his last 5 games. Wiley Peralta is not a good major league pitcher. I think he was faking it to make it at the beginning of the year, and it's starting to fall apart. Now, Peralta, 428 WOBA, 38.9% fly ball rate, 36.1% hard hit rate against lefties. Those are the numbers of someone who's going to get some damage done to them tonight. And I don't think that's regression. I think that is actually going to aggress. I think that's going to become worse. I think the hard hit gets closer to 40. The fly ball goes over 40. And it wouldn't be shocking to see him get set down. Lastly, I like playing it a little risky. And most of this is a gut call because there's no numbers that really play into why I think this is going to be a good matchup. And if anybody's watched baseball ever at any point in their life, they'll know that things just sometimes don't come down to the numbers. I really like Nolan Arenado tonight. I know he's expensive, 4,300 on FanDuel. First and foremost, I like using guys in Petco because, especially on a 15-game slate, people are going to look away from the pitchers' parks, which Petco is one of the biggest pitcher parks in the game. So why not load up on a couple of bats from there? I'm not going to throw huge team stacks, game stacks, whatever. But as a one-off, I really like Arenado tonight. Trevor Cahill has looked good. Maybe not great, but he's looked adequate at the very least. But I think that Arenado is going to get a hold of a few tonight and do some damage. So in tournaments, I want to get Nolan on nights where I think he can blow up, and he could do so at very low ownership. And for me, tonight's going to be one of those nights. So once again, our top 3 tournament targets: Corey Dickerson, Matt Carpenter, Nolan Arenado. Thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Head over to researchfantasy.com. Sign up for our MLB mailing list. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Research and Win. And join us again tomorrow.